Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be taking a look at all the New York Rangers prospects currently playing with the Hartford Wolfpack in the AHL, and I'll be giving you guys an update on how they've been doing as of late. So let's get right into it here, taking a look at the AHL standings, where the Hartford Wolfpack currently sit right now in the division. They are currently in 4th place, but if you take a look, they're actually tied for points with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Same amount of points, but they do have 3 games in hand, so they're looking pretty good there. And then they have 5 games in hand on the Providence Bruins, but are down 4 points. So I think they're fine there. They're really in 2nd place, and they don't really have a chance of catching the top team, the Hershey Bears, because they're just an absolute animal. I mean, they're just such a great team, so it'll be tough to catch them, but they definitely can finish 2nd place in the division, which is definitely not too bad at all. Taking a look at the 2 goaltenders down there in the AHL, Louis Domingue has 15 games played, a 2.51 goals against average, 10 wins, 3 loss, 2 OT loss, but does have a 910 save percentage, so he's not doing too bad at all. Not elite numbers, but definitely not too bad. He's a solid, goalie to have down there in the AHL. But then Dylan Garand, the top goalie prospect currently in the Rangers system, he has 17 games played, a 2.8 goals against average, 9 wins, 4 loss, 3 OT loss, but does have a 906 save percentage. And you might say, well, that's not too good, and I agree. But if you take a look at what he's done as of late, in his last 4 starts, he has a 921 save percentage, and you take a look at his last 6 starts, he has a 911. So clearly, he had a bad start to the year, 100%, that's a fact. But so far, as of late, he has looked a lot better, and that is definitely a good sign. He's still very young. He still is only 21 years old, turning 22 in June. For a goaltender, he still has, 3-4 years before you could really 100% tell whether or not he's not going to make it. So I think this is a guy who definitely still has a chance to be a decent starter at the NHL level. Will he ever hit that? We'll have to wait and see, but it's nice to see, though, that as of late, he has started to play much better hockey than we saw at the start of the season. And next up here, taking a look at the skaters, the top 3 point getters are not prospects. You have Alex Belzil, 33 games played, 28 points. A solid depth kind of veteran forward. Matt Holloway's in his mid-20s, a D-man, 28 games played, 28 points. A pretty solid offensive guy, but not really a prospect anymore. And then in 3rd place, you have Johnny Brodzinski, who's obviously been called up for a bit now with the Rangers, and he had 16 games played, 25 points. He was dominating down there, had a 1.56 points per game, but right now he's obviously playing with the Rangers and has done a decent job in kind of a bottom 6 role. And taking a look here at the top Rangers prospect points-wise in the AHL, no surprise, it's Brennan Othmann, the Rangers' top prospect currently. 30 games played, 9 goals, 15 assists, 24 points, a 0.8 points per game. He's doing pretty good so far. I mean, right now, among all rookie skaters in the AHL, he is number 10 for points-wise, so he's not doing too bad at all. I think he's had a great year so far, and obviously had a very small sample size with the Rangers this year, but I still think he showed a decent amount there with his physical play and his overall kind of play, and had a lot of shots, created some chances, but didn't quite get the ice time. So I do think him being sent back down was probably what's best for his development going forward. He's going to get a lot more ice time, top line minutes, obviously, top power play time as well. He's going to get a lot more chance to grow and develop his game, and hopefully next year will be a top 6 forward for the Rangers. Next up here, we have Brett Berard, who's actually had a really good season so far. 33 games played, 10 goals, 9 assists, 19 points, a 0.58 points per game. He's looked pretty good so far. I mean, this is a guy who probably projects more as a kind of 3rd liner at the NHL level, but I think he's got a bit of talent there, can play with a bit of toughness, a bit of grit, a bit of a rat out there sometimes. So I do think he can be a pretty solid NHLer one day. Then we have here Adam Sikora, 29 games played, 3 goals, 11 assists, 14 points. Not too bad at all. I mean, he's had a pretty good season so far, a 0.48 points per game. A little less than I would have hoped, but I think overall, I mean, his main part of his game isn't his offense, it's his overall kind of play, so I don't think he's doing too bad at all. Then we have here Matthew Robertson, 32 games played, 2 goals, 11 assists, 13 points, -3. Not doing too bad. He's more of I would say, a little more on the defensive side than an offensive D-man, but he definitely is kind of a 2-way guy. Pretty big size, around 6'4", 0.41 points per game is not too bad at all. Got called up with the Rangers for a minute there and then didn't really play, unfortunately, but he's still a solid prospect and definitely is one of the top D prospects currently in the Rangers system. Then we have here Ryder Korzak, coming over from the WHL last year. He's had an all-right start so far, 30 games played, 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points. Not too bad. I mean, you would like to see him have a little more offense, but other than that, I mean, he's been all right, I guess. Then we have here Adam Edstrom, the massive 6'8" prospect, got called up for the Rangers for a bit there. 24 games played, 8 goals, 2 assists, 10 points. I think he's been a little underwhelming, but overall, for a guy with his size and his overall skill and kind of play, I think he's doing all right. 0.42 points per game is not too bad at all. And next up here, we have former second-round pick back in the 2019 draft, Carl Henriksen. So far this season, he has 29 games played, 10 points, 6 goals, 4 assists. Hasn't quite lived up to the second-round pick expectations, but if you take a look at what he's done as of late, in his last 5 games played, he has 3 points. In his last 10 games played, he has 6 points. So he's looked a little better as of late, obviously put up some better numbers, but still, as a prospect, has not lived up to the second-round pick expectations that he had originally had. And next up here, we have another massive 6'8" prospect, just like Edstrom, but this time Matt Rempe, the Canadian guy of the WHL. He's more of a fighter, more of a tough kind of guy, less skilled than obviously a guy like Edstrom. Edstrom has more kind of higher end skill, or Matt Rempe is more of that kind of tough guy who's going to fight, play that kind of fourth line role probably at the NHL level if he makes it. But so far this year, he's actually put up some decent numbers, having 33 games played, 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points. I think at least he could be a pretty solid fourth liner. With his size, he can play center, play wing. He's pretty tough. He can fight. He can scrap a bit. He's a tough player overall. So I think he definitely could one day be a pretty solid kind of fourth liner. You never know. And to finish things off here in this video, we're going to take a look at Artem Anisimov, the former New York Ranger who actually signed a deal recently with the Hartford Wolfpack. So far this season, he has 5 games played, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. Not too bad at all. He is 35 years old, but was taken back in the 2006 draft by the Rangers with the second round pick number 54 overall. Pretty solid guy there. I mean, he had a great NHL career. Spent 2 years there with the Hartford Wolfpack in 07-08 and 08-09, and then spent 4 years with the Rangers from 2008 to 2012, and then spent 3 years with the Columbus Blue Jackets, 4 years with the Blackhawks, 2 years with the Sens, went back over to Russia, then last year played 1 year with the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, the Philadelphia Flyers AHL team, and then obviously this year has signed back with the Hartford Wolfpack. Anyways, though, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please smash the like button. Don't forget to comment down below your guys' thoughts on Artem Anisimov coming back in the Raiders organization, as well as all the great prospects that we do have down there in the AHL, because there's a lot of them who could potentially one day be some pretty solid players on the actual New York Rangers roster. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.